Thanks for joining us here on the Roadrunner Review, the 30-minute magazine show that features Metro State sports and their highlights from the past month. I'm Kevin Hull, and joining me on the show is Myles Potter, Davy Burke, and back with us, our old friend, writer, producer, director, anchor, Peter Aragon.
I did it all for you guys. No wonder you brought me back.
Don't get too full of yourself there. Well, it's a special hour-long edition of the show as we celebrate 5 years of the Roadrunner Review. We'll look back on the top 50 moments from the 51 episodes of this show. You guys ready?
Yeah, I can't wait.
There's a lot of history, so it's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited.
50 moments, a lot of excitement here. Well, before we get to that journey to the number one moment, let's give a brief history of this show. The Roadrunner Review was created and produced by our own Eric Lansing, who actually anchored the show for the first 3 years. Episode number 1 aired on February of 2010 and proceeded to wow its viewers with spectacular highlights, in-depth interviews, and heartwarming stories from the world that is Metro State sports. Peter Aragon and myself would soon take over the anchor spots to take the program to that next level. So after 5 years, 51 episodes, and a plethora of talented students, the Roadrunner Review continues on to share Roadrunner sports and all the athletes and coaches who don the red and blue. We'll kick off the countdown in the year of 2010. Our softball team had their sights set on the conference tournament crown in the championship game number 2. Molly Clark already grabbed the RMAC's attention after hitting 5 home runs in the tournament, but she secures her most valuable player award after robbing the Mavericks of the home run at the fence. Sophomore steals away a potential 3-run blast that would have allowed Mesa State to pull within one, 9-8. But the Lakewood native saves the day, helping the Roadrunners to repeat as tournament champions by a final of 11-9.
In May of 2011, our very own Andy Schlichting was named Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Sports Information Director of the Year. Andy plays a huge part in the administrative staff for the athletics department. The Chaska, Minnesota native writes press releases, keeps track of statistics during games, as well as updates to career and single-season records. Andy is a big part of the media coverage that the Roadrunners receive in both TV and newspaper coverage. His list of jobs goes on and on. We are honored to celebrate Andy as moment number 49. We love you, Andy.
Play number 48 comes from this year's semifinal round of the RMAC tournament. The Roadrunners took on Fort Lewis College at home at the Auraria Event Center. This game featured 2 of the top big men in the RMAC as Alex Herrera and Nicholas Kay went punch for punch in the paint. But it was Metro's junior from Australia who came up huge with the final knockout blow. Kay shows no fear, posterizing one of the top shot blockers in the nation, scoring 20 points in the 77-73 win. Kay would go on to win the tournament's most valuable player and leads his team to the tournament championship.
We'll stay with men's hoops from this past season as we rewind the tape to late November when our Roadrunners took part in the Division I NIT preseason tip-off. Head coach Derek Clark and his squad took on 4 Division I opponents and went on to defeat 3 of them to become the first Division II team ever to win multiple games in the tournament. You know the rest of the nation took notice, and it was just the start to an incredible 2013-2014 season for Metro State.
Metro State breeds success, and with success comes milestones. We'll start with former softball head coach Jen Fisher, who reached the 100-win plateau on April 11th of 2010. The former Otero Junior College head coach helped Metro restart the program in 2008 and proceeded to win 100 games in her first 133 contests. Volleyball head coach Debbie Hendricks reached 2 milestones in 2013. She not only won her 300th game as a head coach for the Roadrunners, but also notched her 500th overall win as a head coach. Men's head coach Derek Clark hit 100 wins in his Metro State career and did it in only 119 games, which is 2 games faster than legendary head coach Mike Dunlap. Well, this episode of the Roadrunner Review features 50 outstanding moments from the past 5 years, but Metro State Athletic Director Joe McDermott has been leading the charge for great Roadrunner moments for more than 16. You're watching this very show because of her forward-thinking and innovative mind.
The most rewarding piece of being an athletic director is seeing our student athletes grow from coming in, to when they graduate.
When you think about Metro State athletics, you think about national championships, high-flying men's basketball, and rowdy. What you don't think about is who's behind it all. Joe McDermott is Metro State Athletic Director. She has been here at Metro State for 16 years and was named Under Armour Athletic Director of the Year this year.
A huge honor to receive an award like that and get that kind of recognition. You know, it means a lot to me, but you know, I think the reason why I get it is because of the great staff we have.
One of her big accomplishments is the brand new $16 million athletic complex that will now host men's and women's soccer, baseball, softball, and tennis.
It's going to mean so much to MSU Denver. First of all, for our athletic department, you know, it's going to be huge. We're going to have top-of-the-line athletic facilities. It's going to assist them in recruiting.
Dermott has a ton of respect from all of her coaches. That's because she was a coach before becoming an athletic director.
You know, the first thing is she's been on the sidelines. She was a great coach in her own right. She's a national championship, level coach.
What she was wanting to do at Metro State was going to be first rate. And, that's reflected in what the last decade or more have looked like here at Metro State.
McDermott is very proud of all of her teams and student athletes here at Metro State. In her 16th season, she has won 35 RMAC championships and 4 national championships.
Us to be a broad, well-rounded athletic program and to see all our teams do well, that's what I'm most proud of.
I think we have the best athletic director in the country, and I say that because of her track record.
Being an athletic director, you're always thinking down the road, and Jo McDermott is no exception. She wants to see all of her programs grow to their highest potential.
Our student athletes across the board to just have the very best experience they can possibly have. We have a lot of diversity on our staff and within our student athlete population. I want that diversity to continue to grow because I think that's good for everybody. So that's what I want to see. I hope we continue to just get better and better.
From everyone here at the Roadrunner Review, we want to congratulate Joan for her incredible accomplishment, and we hope she never leaves the Mile High City. We'll still ahead on the show. We're just getting started in the top 50 moments from the Roadrunner Review. Up next, we feature a story of a shattered season and a story of a shattered backboard. We're coming right back.
The Roadrunner Review is brought to you by its proud sponsors, Panorama Orthopedics and Spine Center. From sports injuries to spine injuries to total joints for arthritis, they are in your neighborhood caring for your injuries. Located at 3 convenient locations, Golden, Littleton, and Thornton.
Welcome back. From Tucson, Arizona to Louisville, Kentucky to Bellingham, Washington to Atlanta, Georgia. In addition to racking up the frequent traveler points, the Roadrunner Review has had the privilege to travel with our teams as they ventured outside of our state of Colorado to battle the nation's best. Well, Peter, I think you and I have been traveling the most outside of Eric. I mean, we went down to Durango, 6 hours just on a whim traveling down there.
That was probably the best. Driving there 6 hours, driving back 6 hours, got home, about 3:30 in the morning?
About that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, we'll find out about that a little more in the show. Let's get back to the top 50 moments from the past 5 years, and we continue with moment number 45. Aubrey Mall headed into the 2013 season as one of the top pitchers in the conference. She was set to go out in her senior campaign with a bang, but her biggest opponent didn't come on the field. It came in the form of cancer. The Fort Collins native was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was forced to miss the entire softball season. After 3 successful stints of chemotherapy, the hurler was back on the mound to start the 2014 season. It looked as if she didn't lose a step, winning co-pitcher of the year in the conference and leading her squad to the RMAC tournament title and a trip to the NCAA tournament. She is 100% cancer-free and graduated from Metro State with her hospitality degree.
To the pitch for moment number 44, the men's soccer team has scored 89 goals since the start of the show 5 years ago, but none have been more spectacular than the individual effort by Dele Johnson, whose great goal helps defeat Seattle Pacific 3-0. We gotta check that out in slow-mo. Dele nutmegs one defender, then he explodes past 3 defenders and deposits a shot far post past the diving keep. Tim Howard would have even had trouble with that one.
When it comes to rivalries in the RMAC, there's none more intense than a Metro men's basketball game versus Colorado Mines. These two national powerhouses faced off on February 8th, but it was a random act of basketball gods that overshadowed the conference game. Here's the call from our own Eric Lansing.
That trapped in the corner, great pass to Wages slams it down and breaks the glass.
The game was postponed until that following Sunday, and while we're not thrilled it was an org digger who tore down the rim, the play did make it to number 5 on ESPN's top plays. Oh yeah, Metro won the game, by the way.
Speaking of great rivalries, number 5 Metro State took on number 4 Fort Lewis in a much ballyhooed contest, as was the first RMAC women's game where both teams were ranked in the top 5. It was also a battle for first place in the conference, but the game did not live up to the hype as the Roadrunners walloped the Skyhawks by 27 points at the Aurora Event Center. Metro State jumped out to a quick 9-2 lead and never looked back. 10 Roadrunners scored, including Kaylee Dow, who piled up 12 points and grabbed 14 rebounds.
Darius Reed ruled the 110-meter hurdles in his junior season. At the RMAC Championships in Gunnison, Colorado, the Denver native breaks the tape in a time of 14.08 seconds, which not only breaks his own school record, but breaks the stadium's mark as well. He earns gold for his first place finish, then was on to the national meet in Pueblo, Colorado, where Reed finished third overall in a blazing time of 13.71 seconds to earn All-America honors. His time was the 19th best time in Division II history. Well, Aubrey Myles, such an inspiring story, coming out, striking out cancer, winning RMAC Co-Pitcher of the Year. Great.
Yeah, she's had huge victories here at Metro, but by far that's the biggest victory of her career.
Definitely is.
We'll still head on the Roadrunner Review. We mic'd up a couple of coaches to bring the audience even closer to the game, and a dominant pitching performance on the mound rounds out the top 40. We're coming right back. Thanks for coming back. You guys out there, you get to see the final edited version of the show. Even though we do look quite professional on that final product, we have to thank our fearless leader, Eric Lansing, who takes out those ridiculous bloopers. There are a lot of them. Here's some great blooper moments that will reveal we are not as professional as we appear to be. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Kevin Hall, and my BFF, Peter Aragon, who's a warm-hearted person and love you till the end, joins me to bring you everything that is Metro State. Oh my God.
Some exciting men's basketball highlights. That's terrible.
Ogun Modede.
Oh dear God.
Ogun Modede.
Ogun Mundele.
Ogun.
Traditions. 3, 2. And some foundation building traditions. You don't want to miss some 3, 2. You don't want to miss some.
That's right, Peter. Former men's basketball head coach Mike Dunlap and former volleyball setter Devin Herron. And the teleprompter's not moving.
Well, it was tough to watch Metro.
Those were some hilarious moments from the show, and we continue on with the countdown number 40. We mic'd up head coach Ken Parsons and Tanya Javi during live action, and here are some behind-the-scenes sounds that really took you into the game.
Flash the ball after screens. All right, let's go. Great game the whole time. Let's go. 40 minutes. Boys, let's get a result. Let's get back to 500 in the RMAC, and then we'll work our way from there. Let's go. Gap. Come on, Benson. Good stuff, Arubla. Good boy, Arubla. Taylor, you can't let your frustration, you cannot let your frustration, you got to set one good screen. You've just got to say set. And every time, they could almost call you every time. Ah, jeez. Jeez Louise. Hey, Chad. We need you right now. We need you. I wish I had a UK accent. These sound bites would probably be better.
Maybe we can mic up volleyball head coach Debbie Hendricks this upcoming season. Or maybe just get that stare. Which leads us to moment number 39 when Knock Fan came up huge in a big season clash with Regis University in September of 2011. Metro is ranked 9th in the nation and Regis came to downtown Denver ranked 21st. The Roadrunners up 2-0 when Kendall Highland fires down the kill. Alex Green can't handle it and is heading towards the wall. Q Fan, she goes full extension to keep the ball alive. Metro did not let the spectacular dig go in vain as Shane Kovach finishes the point on the kill. Talk about leaving everything on the court. Fan finished the match with 22 digs and showed the Rangers why the RMAC donned her as the RMAC Defensive Player of the Year.
Just 3 days after Fan's incredible diving save, our 6th-ranked women's soccer team ventured to Golden to take on number 10-ranked Colorado School of Mines. Head coach Adrian Peets and the Runners had yet to win in Golden, going 0-4-1 in 5 meetings. 0-0 would be the score during regulation. Metro had a couple solid chances, but nothing found the back of the net. In the second overtime, Haley Marsh on the corner. She puts the ball into the box. Freshman phenom Carissa Price uses her body to push it in for the golden goal. A big-time goal from Price, who showcased her clutch abilities early in her Metro State career.
2010 was a magical season for our softball team. One moment that stood out was Christy Robinson, who fired a no-hitter against CSU Pueblo at Auraria Field. The senior allowed just one ball to leave the infield and had a perfect game going into the final inning when an error allowed a Thunderwolf to reach base. On the final play, the ball comes right back to Robinson, who fires it to first to complete the no-no, the first of her career. Her final stat line reads, 7 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Moment number 36 comes from men's basketball, who hosted Adams State, the top scoring team in the conference. The Grizzlies came ready to fight in this one, building an 11-point lead late in the first half. The Roadrunners battle back. Paul Brotherson somehow gets the half-court shot to fall with the clock winding down. But our top play comes from All-American Reggie Evans, who looked to save his team down by 1 with 17 seconds left.
Reggie Evans, who else? Look, Armax leading scorer, pick from J-Mo. Look at the penetrate, throws it up, off glass and in! He gets to the goal and timeout on the floor. The crowd on their feet. Reggie Evans feeling the emotion.
Well, that sequence of plays had so many talented players. You had Knock Fan, Carissa Price, and Reggie Evans.
Great thing about it is Carissa Price is going to be back next year, senior season.
I just can't wait to see who the next student athletes that come in that can replace those players and really make their mark on this program.
Yeah, and after seeing those plays, we have a nice variety of all the sports at Metro here being represented. It just shows how strong the athletic program here is.
It really is.
And we're just getting started. Still ahead on the Roadrunner Review, our next segment features some star-studded talent in Jasmine Cervantes, Jonathan Morris, and Anthony Luna. Come on back to see which of their amazing Metro State moments made our top 50 list. So glad you could rejoin us here on the Roadrunner Review. We love to bring you all the miraculous highlights from our Roadrunner games. We can't ignore the great moments our student athletes create off the field or the court. Over the years, many of our teams took part in the community service events, from building homes and Habitat for Humanity, to educating the youth in Denver high schools, to feeding the homeless in their own campus community. Great job to all the coaches and athletes for contributing their time and efforts to make our city and world a better place.
One of my favorite moments, I think, is when Metro State, the men's basketball team, went to Louisville, Kentucky, and the men's team went to a school, hung out with some kids, and Brandon Jefferson got in a dance-off with one of the little kids. Totally got schooled the whole time. It was a great video to see.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Well, the journey from 50 to number 1 marches on in our top moments countdown. We go track and field in moment number 35. When you say Metro State track and field, Anthony Luna is the first name that should come to mind. Luna won 2 national championships in the 800 meters with the red and blue, but did so before the Roadrunner Review started airing in 2010. But we do have Luna as a senior in the 2010 RMAC Outdoor Championships. Coming down the home stretch, Luna is near the back of the pack, but then he gets on his horse to pass Mark Husted to win the 800-meter race of a time of 1 minute and 50 seconds. It was one of Luna's last races before graduating, and he will forever be regarded as one of the all-time great roadrunners.
The guys who look.
Moment 34 is the only Metro State loss that you'll see in the top 50 countdown, but it is the one we have to feature as the volleyball teams from Metro and the School of Mines fought a match for the ages. The 5-set thriller set an NCAA Division II record for total points scored with 250, individual team points as Mines scored 127 and Metro with 123. And it was the most points scored in the final 5th set in both squads' history, as 50 points were scored. It was back and forth affair as each set was closely decided. Mines won the first set 26-24, Metro rebounded at set 2 28-26, Mines took set 3 25-21, and to keep it going, Metro forced the 5th set by winning set 4 26-24. And the final deciding 5th set, Mines took it 26-24. Yes, the Roadrunners did not win, but how can you ignore this type of match? It was record-breaking.
Let's head to the diamond in moment number 33. It was an incredible individual performance by senior Jacob Nelson, set a new Metro State record by crushing a home run in 6 straight games. This slugging showcase took place during the spring of 2013, and in those 6 games, the Lakewood native bashed 7 round-trippers, driving in 22 runs and scoring 16 times. Nelson was named RMAC Athlete of the Month and was an honorable mention All-American.
The big man from Boulder graces number 32 on our top 50 moments. Jonathan Morris had one of the best 4-year careers in the history of Metro State men's basketball. JMO started from day one and proceeded to break numerous Roadrunner records and led his team to many important victories. In Roadrunner history, Morris is 6th all-time in scoring, 6th in field goals made, 4th in free throws made, 1st in free throws attempted, 1st in total rebounds, and 5th in blocked shots, and 1st in games started. He's the only Roadrunner ever to reach 1,500 points and 1,000 rebounds, and the 6'8" forward led his squad to 2 RMAC tournament championships, 2 regional championships, and a trip to the national championship game in 2013. The accolades go on and on, but needless to say, Morris will one day be inducted into the Metro State and RMAC Hall of Fames.
Jasmine Cervantes also had a stellar career with the red and blue, but we focus on her triple-double performance against Western New Mexico in her senior season. The Johnstown, Colorado native controlled the game in the 109-47 victory over the Mustangs. Cervantes scored 13 points, dished out 11 assists, and pulled down 17 rebounds to complete the first triple-double in program history. Here's the call from the game by yours truly. Valencia with thinking about the shot. Here's Benson with the three. There it is! The first triple-double in women's history, thanks to a three-point shot by Alyssa Benson.
It was all my teammates, honestly. They were able to finish for my assists, and my posts were able to box out, and I was able to clean up after them, so I owe a lot of my rebounds to them.
Well, that tease beforehand was right. Star-studded, of course. Jonathan Morse, Jasmine Cervantes, back-to-back.
You know, and I remember us calling that game for Jasmine Cervantes triple-double. You could tell everyone knew in that gym. The bench knew, Coach Javi knew. I mean, they were up like 40 points, and Coach Javi put her back in to get that triple-double. And when she got it, that was really memorable to see that bench jump up and down.
Definitely, you just feel the energy from the crowd, everyone behind her, people chanting. Just it was a great environment to be a part of. Well, up next on the show, a couple big-time Metro State moments took place in the pressure-packed moments of the playoffs. But which team's postseason win breaks through the top 30? You know how it goes. Come on back and you'll find out. We're still trucking along here on the special anniversary show of the Roadrunner Review. We have been counting down the top 50 moments from this TV show that started in February of 2010. Let's get right back to it as we celebrate the career of one of the all-time great softball players. Janessa Tassone played 4 years at Metro State and left a lasting mark as one of the top collegiate softball players at not just Metro State, but in the entire state of Colorado. The honorable mention All-American finished her career 5th all-time in Division II in home runs and is currently still first in the RMAC in career round trippers with 56. She was named All-RMAC 4 times and led her team to the College World Series in 2010. Her best season was that incredible journey of 2010 when she blasted 19 home runs, drove in 62, and scored 46 times. We'll see more of Tassone later on in the countdown.
Tassone was such a clutch player as well, and speaking of clutch, junior forward Abby Rolfe came through in grand fashion against Midwestern State in the NCAA tournament twice. The game took place close to home in Golden, Colorado. It was 1-0 Mustangs when Noemi Polanco scored her 3rd goal of the season to knot the game at 1. The match would head into overtime where Nicole Pollock finds Rolfe streaking down the field and she chips in the ball over the keep for the game winner. Or was it? The official says offsides and the game continues on. Another great chance, Pollock crosses the ball to Rolfe and this time taps it past the keep for the goal. This one would stand and the red and blue defeat Midwestern State 2-1 to move on to the next round, setting up another memorable meeting against the crosstown rivals Colorado Mines on the Ore Diggers home pitch. We'll have that game later for you in the countdown.
Moment number 28 comes from 2009 when our volleyball team took on number 3 ranked Nebraska Kearney in the RMAC tournament. The match took place in Kearney and the Roadrunners found themselves down 2-0. Julie Casso tallied 11 kills, Lisa Jones powered down 12 kills, Amy Watanabe came through with 35 digs. We head into the 5th set where Kearney's radio has the call.
Set and match point for Metro. Wimoff will get the service across. The return is long, and there to put it down is Gabe Curtis. And Metro State are your RMAC champions for 2009.
It was Metro's first win in Kearney since 2002. Casso and Gabe Curtis earned all tournament team honors, while Bree Morley was named most valuable player, crushing 20 kills and recording 13 digs.
On one of the biggest cross-country stages in the nation, the Roadrunners took part in the South Central Regional Championships in Denver. The top finishers got an invitation to the Division II cross-country championships. Sophomore Nick Hadlick surprised the men's team by finishing 3 spots higher than Kirk Harvey, earning a trip to the national meet. Hadlick crossed the line in 33 minutes and 17 seconds in the 10K race. The freshman Janelle Links led the women's team, finishing the 6K race in 22 minutes and 41 seconds. Lynx also qualified for the championships, which meant 2 Roadrunners were able to compete on Division II's biggest stage.
In 2011, baseball superstar David Fox turned in one of the greatest seasons in program history. The Lakewood native raked all season long, batting .426, blasting 8 home runs, collecting 55 runs batted in, scoring 56 runs of his own, and recording 20 doubles. Fox finished in the top 20 in all those categories, minus home runs. He was named All-America by 3 different organizations and was also named to the Collegiate Baseball Lineup's All-Star team. He led the program to a 29-17 overall record and a trip to the RMAC postseason tournament.
And guys, one of my personal favorite moments on that victory is one that happened just last year, Metro State beating Midwestern in a huge contest.
Yeah, that was in the NCAA tournament. They go on to play Mines. I mean, no spoiler alert, but we'll find out who wins that game after this.
Yeah, and Rolf had to do it twice.
Yep.
I mean, one's hard enough, but good for getting it done
Are we
twice.
shocked though?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Not with that front line of Rolf and Price and Pollock, who's gone now, but
The three-headed monster.
Exactly.
They were called.
still great. Well, we have reached the end of 25 great moments in Metro State history, and the best is still to come in the next half hour. Still to come on the Roadrunner Review, we take a look back at the fantastic career of Jasmine Cervantes, who took the women's basketball team to heights never seen before. And we know that Australians have been ruling the basketball course for more than a decade. But how did it start? We'll tell you right after this. The Roadrunner Review started with one man's idea, but there is no way 5 years of footage, editing, and production could have made this show possible without so many talented and ambitious people who helped along the way. From everyone here at the Roadrunner Review, the athletics department, and from the administration, we want to thank all those who had a hand in putting together the one, the only magazine show that features Metro State sports, and of course their highlights from the past month. Well, yeah, this has been one of the most fun I've had in my college career. The 3 years I've spent here at the Roadrunner Review is ones to remember.
It's always fun to look back at that, and something we'll always remember.
You guys want a tissue?
No, I got mine in my jacket.
I'm tearing up a little bit. Well, we are halfway through our anniversary edition of the Roadrunner Review. 25 moments down, 25 to go. Let's jump right back into the countdown as softball leads things off. The 2014 softball team was rejuvenated by first-year head coach Andy Ben Wetzinga and made some history in the process. The Roadrunners earned a 4th seed in the conference tournament, and after a second-round loss to Fort Lewis, the Red and Blue had to battle through the losers bracket to earn a trip to the championship game. It was a rematch with the Skyhawks in championship game number 2. It was a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 8th when Towner's heroics continued in extra innings.
And here's the pitch. That one's going to be sent deep, deep. Over the wall, a walk-off home run by Mary Towner.
The win secured a spot in the NCAA tournament, and we hope this is just the beginning of something special under Coach Van Wetzinga.
Metro State women's basketball has a long tradition of stellar athletes in its history. Stephanie Allen was an exciting pure scorer, while Natasha Molick was a crafty player who could make regular trips to the free throw line. But Jasmine Cervantes cemented her legacy as arguably the best all-around player in the history of women's hoops. Cervantes' numbers were impressive. She finished 7th in scoring, 6th in rebounding, 1st in assists, 5th in free throws made, and 4th in all-time games played. This versatile guard not only got after on the defensive end, finishing her career 3rd in block shots and 2nd in steals, but also carried that clutch gene that rose her team to many thrilling victories. Jazz led her team to the Elite Eight in the 2010-11 season, and earned 2 All-American Honorable Mention honors in her senior season.
We stick with women's basketball in moment number 23. The year, 2009. The place, the Auraria Event Center. The opponent, number 3 ranked Fort Lewis College. The Roadrunners were not ranked, and no one gave them a chance to pull off the huge upset. But senior guard Leandra Sand had other thoughts, dropping a career-high 28 points on 10 of 14 shooting. She knocked down 4 3-pointers and hit clutch free throws to keep the Skyhawks at bay. And just for perspective, the same Fort Lewis team would go on to lose only 4 games all season, and one of those losses came in the national championship game. So that was a huge upset and no easy feat for our Roadrunners.
Speaking of difficult feats, our 2013-2014 men's basketball team became only the 3rd RMAC squad ever to go undefeated in conference play. Head coach Derek Clark led his group to a perfect 22-0 mark in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, joining Fort Hays in 1995-96 and our very own Roadrunners who did it in 2003-2004 season. However, Metro State's accomplishment of 22 RMAC wins flies higher as Fort Hays went 16-0 in the RMAC, and our previous Metro State squad did it in only 19 games. Coach Clark's squad had to win 11 games on the road, 2 games against Fort Lewis, 2 games against number 11 ranked Colorado Mines, and had to win number 22 on the road at UC Colorado Springs.
We have 3 spectacular performances in the 2011 RMAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships in moment number 21. Julia Hernandez finished 3rd in the 10K race, destroying the school mark by nearly a minute. She would earn the bronze medal for her record-setting pace. She would also earn bronze in the 5K race. Carissa Cinda comes from behind down the home stretch in the 800-meter race to win her heat in a time of 2 minutes and 17 seconds. That time was good enough for second place and the silver medal. And finally, Derek Fiorini had a field day against the track and field competition. First, Fiorini came in second in the 400-meter dash, posting a provisional time of 47.59 seconds. The senior is given the silver medal. Then in the 200-meter dash, Fiorini and Chadron State Phil Rivera at the line for the photo finish, and it's Fiorini who wins by a nose to earn the gold medal. The Roadrunner 3 wowed the golden crowd with their amazing championship. Australia, home of the most dangerous beasts, creatures, and environments in the world. But the land down under is also home to some of the most dangerous basketball players, some of which call Metro State their home away from home.
This one, nice feed to Nick Kay, slams it home. But Aussie to Aussie, Mitch McCarron to Nick Kay, and the finish.
This past season, Metro State had 5 Australians on the squad, leading them all the way to an undefeated conference mark, the best win record in school history, and their second straight Final Four appearance.
Coming into it, we knew that we had a good team and we knew that we had a good chance again this year. So I think every day during the summer and leading up to it, we were just excited to play.
For years, Australian basketball players have been migrating from the Outback to the Mile High City, and it was former Roadrunner coach Mike Dunlap who was the first to tap into that pipeline back in the late 1990s.
He had a history even before he got to Metro State. When I was a player at Cal Lutheran, I played with a couple of Australians, so I was very familiar even going back to my college days.
And there's a lot of great basketball players that have come from Metro State. Coach Dunlap was obviously a big part of that.
Success came quickly with the arrival of the Australians, players like Lee Barlow and Michael Alcock helping Metro State to their first national championship, paving the way for future Aussies.
Luke Kendall had a huge influence on my decision to come to Metro because I played for the same club team as him.
I knew Mark Worthington. I've known him from the past, but just everyone else, such as Luke Kendall and all that.
That first wave of Australians was just the beginning of something special, as names like Worthington, Kendall, and Wagstaff emerged to continue the proud tradition of Metro State basketball.
As long as we have an opportunity to go get a good player over there, we're going to go get a good player over there.
It's great to see the success of so many Australians coming over here to Denver, and it started so long ago. Gotta thank Mike Dunlap for that.
Absolutely, yeah. Nicholas Kay, Mitch McCarron, probably going to go down as one of the best basketball players in Metro State history.
They definitely will. Paul Brotherson was great. He came off the bench a lot his senior season, helped them out. So just a great line of Australians.
Yeah, the pipeline's going strong. I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, so I got the history, Mark Worthington, Luke Kendall, just great players. Well, we still have plenty left to go here on the Roadrunner Review. We entered the top 20 of the countdown. And up next, we have game-winning goals, game-winning shots, and game winners. And if you want to be a winner yourself, you best come on back. We've had the great privilege here at the Roadrunner Review to bring guests into the studio to really see what makes these athletes and coaches tick. To the 4 softball seniors who helped start the program in 2009. To Brandon Jefferson, the unanimous National Player of the Year. The depths we reach by really getting to know these Roadrunners really brings a different perspective to our audience.
Having BJ in the studio with us a couple months ago, that was great.
Yeah, that was a good interview, and I remember when Jonathan Morris was in the studio, didn't he swat your papers out of your hand?
Yeah, all I'm trying to do is just end the show with my scripts and just that was like 1,001 blocks right there.
That was just embarrassing for you.
We also shot a commercial with BJ when he was here, so look out for that.
Yeah, that was
good to see.
Well, we begin this segment with moment number 20, and it's a trifecta of great Roadrunners earning some distinguished awards. The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference has been around since 1909. That's 105 years of sports and competition. 3 runners were inducted into the RMAC Hall of Fame since 2010, and all 3 were glorified winners. Former men's basketball coach Mike Dunlap, former volleyball setter Devin Herron, and former men's basketball player Mark Worthington are now forever etched in RMAC history. Dunlap won 2 Division II national championships for men's hoops in the early 2000s. Herron is the only Roadrunner volleyball player to be named RMAC Player of the Year twice and holds the school record for career assists. Worthington won a national championship with the Red and Blue and was named National Player of the Year in 2005 after averaging 20 points and 6 rebounds per game while shooting 50% from the floor. 3 all-time greats in not only Metro history, but RMAC history as well.
From great Roadrunner careers to a great Roadrunner season, tennis superstar Lucio Cangiano broke the school record for single wins in a season in 2012. The senior from Brazil defeated Nebraska Kearney Josh Raymond in the NCAA tournament to earn singles win number 22 on the season. Cangiano surpassed 2 former tennis greats in Peter Lance and Brandon Lupo, who were tied at 21 wins in a season. He would go on to earn RMAC All First Team honors in his final season with Metro State.
A classic conference rivalry in men's soccer between Roadrunners and the Ore Diggers. The School of Mines came to town as the 11th ranked team in the nation, but it was the home team who struck first. Freshman of the year, TJ Tebow put the Roadrunners on the board in the first half for his first collegiate goal. Sean Hauster evened the score in the 88th minute. We're heading into free soccer. Here's yet another great call from our own Eric Lansing.
Hughes will pick it up, send it in, right there, and goal! The game winner! Mark Hirschberger takes the great pass, and Metro State has defeated number 11 Colorado Mines.
That win ends an 8-game losing streak to the Ore Diggers that dated back to 2002.
We head back to that memorable softball season of 2010 and we look back on the College World Series when Metro State took on the #1 team in the land, North Georgia. Molly Clark made 2 great plays from center field, first doubling up a runner at first base, then she throws out the runner at home as Lauren Highland puts on the great tag at the plate. Tara Michelson and Janessa Tassone both homered in the 4-1 win. Chrissy Robinson was again phenomenal in the rubber, going the full 7 innings, giving up a single run and making a couple great plays with the leather. The win moved Metro State to the next round where they would finish 4th overall.
We've already celebrated Jasmine Cervantes' career on the countdown, but we have to feature her game-winning shot versus Adams State on the road in number 16. The Grizzlies are down 2 when Crystal Locke drives, gets the bucket to fall, and a mysterious foul is called on Cassandra Bratton. Locke would make the free throw to put her team up by 1 with 6 seconds left. This is where Jazz makes her magic happen. She hustles up the court, takes it herself, gets the shot rolling, and the Roadrunners escape Alamosa with a 54-53 win over Adams State. Cervantes hit a lot of big-time buckets, but this one stands out above the rest. I mean, even though we didn't go down there to Alamosa to see that game in person, just seeing that footage once again, that's Jazz in a nutshell.
It really is. I mean, Jazz is just one of the greatest players here for either basketball program in my mind. Just the way she could pass to her teammates. She knew where everyone was on the court, and those no-look passes were just great.
I mean, you hear that players have eyes in the back of the head. She literally had eyes in the back of her head and all around. She could see everything on the court.
Yeah, you guys are lucky. Me and Davey didn't get the chance to watch her play.
Yeah, she sounds like she's a mythical creature. She sounds like she was all around great.
And she was on the bench for the women's basketball team as a coach last year. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, you got to see her in practice a little bit. That was cool to see again. We'll still head on the special edition of the Roadrunner Review. Moments 15 through 11 encapsulates gold medal performances, big goals in the big dance, and a career that saw one of our very own reach the pinnacle of American soccer. We're coming right back. Once again, thanks for coming back to the Roadrunner Review. We are still counting down to the #1 moment this show has ever seen, and we fire things up in this segment with number 15, where a very special athlete shined above the rest on a bright day in Golden. Brianna Hemming transferred to the Mile High City after spending time at Boise State as a swimmer and a short time at UC Colorado Springs as a triathlete. She had her coming out party at the 2013 RMAC Championships in Golden. First, the Kiowa native blows past the field for a first place finish in the 800 meters, earning the gold medal. Then in the 1500 meters, the RMAC Freshman of the Year solidified that honor by earning gold in the event, grabbing her second gold medal of the meet. Oh, and by the way, Hemming also led the distance medley race team to a third place finish, earning the RMAC's Athlete of the Meet for her outstanding performance at the championships. And get this, she's only a junior.
While Hemming surprised us all in her freshman campaign, it can be argued that the 2014 volleyball team's run to the RMAC tournament's crown was just as remarkable. Head coach Debbie Hendricks and her squad finished tied for 3rd in the RMAC with a 13-6 record, but because of tiebreakers, the Roadrunners earned the 7th seed in the conference tournament. First, the team battled through 5 sets to take down 2nd-seeded Western New Mexico in Silver City, New Mexico. Then they swept Carlisle Christian in the semifinal matchup. It was on to the finals where the Runners faced off against Adams State, who just defeated top-ranked Colorado Mines in the semifinals. But Metro's momentum was firing on all cylinders as they would sweep the Grizzlies in straight sets for their first tournament championship since 2009. Kylie Hahn was the MVP and was on to the NCAA tournament for the 14th straight season.
More postseason action in moment number 13. It was the NCAA tournament where our Roadrunners hosted Minnesota Duluth. Snow once covered the Auraria field, but was cleared off just in time to make sure the game took place. This match featured one of the RMAC's top offensive stars in Becca Mays and one of the Lone Star's top defender studs in Hannah Bankston. This was a scoreless fight for 84 minutes, but it was Myles who got her team on the scoreboard first. The senior makes a great shot to find far post that Bankston couldn't reach with only 5 minutes to go. It looked like Metro had it in the bag, but just 55 seconds later, Lauren Grader ties it up on a perfect placed ball just underneath the crossbar. The game headed into free soccer. It was Myles once again who dribbled it into the box, tips it past Bankston, and the Roadrunners take the thrilling 2-1 win to move on to the next round of the NCAA tournament.
Two-time RMAC Player of the Year, Stephen Emery.
Stephen, isn't there anything you can't do?
Nope.
There wasn't many things that Stephen Emery couldn't do on the soccer pitch and left Metro State as one of the most decorated athletes in the history of Roadrunner athletics. The Fort Collins native played all 4 years for the Red and Blue and recorded 38 goals, 23 assists, and 99 points. He earned RMAC Player of the Year twice and the South Central Regionals Player of the Year award twice. The 6'2" forward was named first-team All-American, and his soccer career didn't end after graduation. Emery's impressive workout with the Colorado Rapids, which included scoring 2 goals in preseason, earned him a professional contract with the defending MLS champs. He would play for the hometown Rapids for 2 years before moving on to Finland to continue his football career.
We can't get enough great segues here on the show as we move from one international superstar to another, and that's former men's basketball icon Mark Worthington, who earned a spot on the Australian Olympic team. The former National Player of the Year in Division II played for his native country at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing and in the 2012 Olympics in London. Worthington got to play against the United States and LeBron James in both Olympic stints. There's no higher honor than being able to play for your country for the sport you love. Well, 40 great moments down, 10 incredible moments still left to be revealed. So come on back, we'll crack the top 10 when we return on the Roadrunner Review. Getting down to crunch time here on the Roadrunner Review, and we still have plenty to get through. Basketball, baseball, softball, everything's coming up.
Softball in the RMAC championship. Aubrey Mall had a great
We got to get someone else in here. He's got to have ice in his veins to get through this highlight. BJ, you're in.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, softball's had an amazing year so far. I mean, they have Aubrey Mall as the starting pitcher. I mean, they have Clutch. I mean, they got a lot of great hitters. I mean, so I think they're going to make a great run this year.
Welcome back to the special anniversary edition of the Roadrunner Review. We are looking back on the top 50 moments from the past 5 years when the program started back in 2010. Gone through 40, 10 left. You guys excited to see what's number 1?
Can't wait.
Yeah, I got my seatbelt fastened.
Can't wait to see what's number 1, though.
I know, but I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. You either. You guys have to wait. Well, moment number 10 is the prolific career of men's basketball legend, Brandon Jefferson. Brandon Jefferson could be regarded as the top Roadrunner athlete in the long history of Metro State sports. We could do an entire show about the 4-year career of the Flower Mound, Texas native. Jefferson's numbers are elite. 3rd in school history in scoring, 3rd in 3-point field goals made, 1st in free throws made, 8th in assists, 4th in steals, 4th in games played, and 1st in minutes played. His awards are astonishing. 3-time All-RMAC, 3-time All-Region, 2012-2013 RMAC Tournament Most Valuable Player, 2013-2014 RMAC Player of the Year, and was named National Player of the Year by 3 different publications. He led his team to 4 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 Elite 8 appearances, 2 Final Four appearances, and a national championship appearance in his junior season. There's only one Brandon Jefferson, and we're glad he played for Metro State.
2 bitter rivals faced off in the RMAC tournament in 2012. Metro State hosted first-round action in downtown Denver against the defending national champs, Fort Lewis College. Dennis Becker on the giving end finding the head of Derek Freeman, who deflects it into the goal, and just like that, the Skyhawks are up 2-0 in the first 6 minutes. We'll let Eric Lansing tell the rest of the story.
Great ball, Hughes can get a foot on it, does. Off the keep, open net, and the goal! Mark Hershberger, Rubla gets a touch, Hershberger has a chance here, gets a pass to keep and the goal. We are all tied up at 2 apiece to Galan. Galan sends a shot in, over in, and the goal! Metro State takes a 3-2 lead.
A great never say die comeback by Metro State as they advance to the next round of the conference tournament.
More March Madness in 2011-2012 season as our men's basketball team took on #1 team in the nation in Colorado School of Mines on their home floor. This game was for the regional championship and a trip to the Elite 8. Adding to the drama, the top-ranked Roadrunners were shocked by the Ordaggers on their court earlier in the year, and Mines defeated the Runners again in downtown Denver a month later. Metro jumped out to a 13-0 start and quieted the home crowd down. The Ordigers battled back on the shoulders of Dale Minschwinger, who pulled down 21 points and 10 rebounds. Reggie Evans' 22 points and 9 boards pushed the Roadrunners' lead back out to double digits with under 4 minutes to go. The bank three-pointer by Brandon Jefferson broke the back of the Ordigers, and Metro State pulls off the upset win for their first regional championship since head coach Mike Dunlap was running things in 2005. Evans was named MVP, and it was on to the Elite Eight in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
Women's soccer loves NCAA tournament time, and they headed south to the Lone Star State in 2012 to take on 18th-ranked St. Edwards on their home pitch. The Hilltoppers took a 1-0 lead in the first half after Michaela Engel catches Metro keeper Jordan Simpkins off guard in the wrong spot. But our runners never crumbled, playing from behind. Abby Rolfe on the corner places the ball perfectly on the head of Carissa Price, who finds the back of the net to tie the match up at 1 with just 5 minutes left in the second half. Abby Rolfe again on the corner. She finds the noggin of Nicole Pollock, who doesn't miss from there, and it's a 2-1 advantage for the runners. You gotta love the celebration from Pollock, who can barely stand because she's so excited. Final seconds tick off, and Metro State advances to the Sweet 16, which was to be held on their home pitch of Auraria Field.
We've seen so many great moments on this show, and none of them could have happened without the great leadership of Joan McDermott. She is our moment number 6 for the pure fact that her incredible decision-making, her innovative thinking, and her undying love for this institution has not only made the school a wonderful place to attend, but for all the athletic success on the court as well as off. She's been at the forefront of 4 team national championships, 5 individual championships, 36 conference championships, and 33 regular season championships. We are so very lucky she has stayed here at Metro State for so long, and we hope this is where she calls home for the rest of her career. Well, there are only 5 moments left on our countdown. These moments define what Metro State sports are all about: determination, heart, and the will to win. Coming back to witness history here on the Roadrunner Review. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? We have the top 5 moments from the past 5 years of this proud show we call the Roadrunner Review. So let's not hesitate any longer. Let's reveal the final 5. Moment number 5 comes from women's basketball team and their Central Region Championship during the 2010-2011 season. ASU carried that momentum into the regional final, exploding out of the gate to a 20-6 lead. But this Roadrunner team was built on defense, and they would hold Adams State to without a field goal for the rest of the half. Second half belonged to Metro State. Cassandra Bratton was unstoppable, scoring 21 points and pulling down 10 rebounds. She was named the tournament's most valuable player, helping her squad to win its first ever regional championship and first ever trip to the Elite Eight.
Let's head back to 2010, where our softball team made so much history. The Roadrunner cruised the regional part of the NCAA tournament and then found themselves 2 wins away from the College World Series. They hosted Wayne State, who featured 32-game winner Katie Getzinger. Both Getzinger and Metro pitcher Christy Robinson went pitch for pitch, not allowing a run through the first 5 innings. Wildcats break through in the top of the 6th on a single by Jennifer Radley. Heading to the bottom of the final inning, and Metro needed a miracle. Getzinger had only allowed just 2 hits up to this point. First, Tara Michelson earned her way on via the walk. Then on a 2-2 pitch, Mark Babish has the call.
Which was 169 more. And that ball's headed. It's gone. Metro State with the walk-off home run. Janessa Tassone.
The Roadrunners still away Game 1 from the Wayne State 2-1, and they take Game 2 6-2 to advance to their first ever College World Series.
Women's soccer top moment comes from this past season when a stunning 2-1 overtime win over Midwestern State placed the Roadrunners against the number 2 team in the nation, Colorado School of Mines. This matchup took place in Golden, Colorado, where the Ordigers had yet to lose a game. In fact, the Diggers haven't allowed more than 1 goal all season. Brittany Cito on the corner, and it was Maggie Rojas who headed the ball into the far post, giving her team the 1-0 lead. Still in the first half, Abby Rolfe is controlling the action. She fires on net, it's saved, but the rebound comes out to Nicole Pollock, who is always money in the postseason, and it's 2-0 Roadrunners. Second half, Brandy Farley is flying down the seam. She centers, and Kelsey Neal heads the ball into her own net for the own goal. It's 3-0 Road Team. Metro State holds on for the 3-1 victory to knock off the School of Mines on their home field. The players' reactions were just as sweet as the win.
I think these final 2 plays could be considered 1A and 1B, but moment number 2 comes from the men's national semifinal game against West Liberty with a chance to reach the national championship game. West Liberty was the number 1 team in the nation and garnered a lot of press on their high-octane offense that averaged 104 points per game. Head coach Derek Clark and his team prided themselves on defense and showed it, holding the Hilltoppers to only 4 points in the first 12 minutes, allowing the Red and Blue to build a 20-4 lead. Metro State built a 13-point lead at the half. Demetrius Miller led the team with 10 points. Second half and second team All-American Alex Falk fought West Liberty all the way back, scoring 28 of his game-high 34 in the second half. The Hilltoppers scratched their way back to within 1 point with 3 minutes left. But once again, Brandon Jefferson hit a clutch three-pointer to put Metro State up. Metro State wins the game 83-76, holding West Liberty to 28 points below their average. It was then on to the national championship game in Atlanta, Georgia.
And the number one moment from the past 5 years of the Roadrunner Review comes from the 2012-2013 RMAC Championship game against Fort Lewis College. Brandon Jefferson going for the steal, but misses, allowing Marcus Ayala to finish on the easy layup to put FLC up by 1 point. But Jefferson wasn't named Big Shot BJ for no reason. Here's Justin Taylor on the call.
It's the inbound, coming up the far sideline. This to the right wing, stops there, behind the back, now crosses over. Pull-up jumper, it's contested.
The crowd goes nuts. Jefferson runs to the far side of the gym. He gets lifted on the shoulders of the rabid fans, and the win gave Metro the RMAC Tournament Championship, the first in head coach Derek Clark's 3-year Metro career. That amazing game-winning shot would be the foreshadowing to a superior senior season.
Well, we understand this is your guys' last show here. So what has the Roadrunner Review meant to you guys?
You know, it got me down the path I wanted to be in. I mean, that was great for Eric to give both of us a chance on desk when he and Babish were pretty much running it, and so I thank him for that.
I mean, this has helped me advance my career. It's helped me get internships, and just really, because I mean, when you go, I was an intern at Altitude, and they know about the Roadrunner Review. They've seen it, and so
well, it's on Altitude, Kevin.
And so it's a good thing they watch it. But just seeing everything I've accomplished because of everything the Roadrunner Review has helped me with, especially Eric Lansing, it's just been fantastic.
But thanks, guys, for all your great help, and you know, you left it. It's great to have you guys on the show.
Yeah, you guys made the program what it is.
Don't mess it up.
I'm hoping I'm leaving in capable hands here with JPO.
Yes.
Well, that's going to do it for the Roadrunner Review. From all of us here at the Roadrunner Review, we'd like to thank you for watching.